So going back to your political life, family life. I still want to zero in on the family life because how do you manage with the added responsibilities with being the state representative and the job that you have working where you are, and then being a husband and father? How do you prevent you and Kim from being two ships passing in the night? Or how do you prevent the challenges where your kids are asking for your attention and you just can't give it to them right then and there? Like what are the commitments that you make as a family?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, there's a couple of aspects of that to approach it. First off, one of the reasons I got involved in public life was because I had some time to do it. I think, my wife has homeschooled our children. We're part of a group.
Yeah.
And so there are some flexibilities in that versus somebody going to a traditional school. So that's helped from a timing perspective and how we do things.
Sure.
Like we've taken fall vacations. We'll go to a national park and you can't always do that in a regular school. So that's been some value. Awesome. One of the other things that I don't want to say I was tricked into, but like I always do stuff with my daughters. Like I'm a boy and I like boy things.
Right,
and so you're going to come do this with me whether you're a boy or not, right? And that's kind of been my approach with them and so like I'll take them to basketball games and do things and stuff. So I will spend time with them. But on the other hand, none of them have done like organized sports or things where I've seen other fathers like they're coaching. So like they always did the ballets and the choirs and so the time requirement for me as a father has not been as it has been for others as far as like trying to engage in their life. So that's been, it's freed me a little bit, which has been nice. But I didn't really see that until, the back end of it. So that's part of it. I think one of the things is I just do stuff with my kids, like everything I do. If I'm going to Lowe's, it's like, come on, you come with me. We're just always hanging out. So there's a constant integration in life. Politics, so the daughters, they'll come knock on doors with me.
Wow.
I'll take them to things. So there's just always been this engagement. I don't, because I told you I don't drink. Like, I'm not a big hunter. I do like it, but I don't.
Yeah. Right.
I don't. My hobbies is generally home. Is what I'm trying to say.
That's, I'm right there with you. I'm not a part of a hunting club. I don't go hunting. I'm not in the seasons like that. I love fishing and but. I'm not. That's not part of my time, and I'm not doing a lot of those things that I think a lot of people are putting themselves into. So my time is with my family.
That's it. I mean that and that extra time where others have a hobby, and God bless them. I mean, I no criticism whatsoever.
No.
But my hobby is politics. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of where I like, and I enjoy it. I mean, most people don't. A lot of people don't like that stuff. But so there you go. I mean, that's kind of where it's been. Now, it's gotten a little more challenging in the legislature. For example, I've chosen to commute to Baton Rouge every day. And that was purely, they have apartments there. And I just thought, look, if I can at least see them once in the morning or once at night every day, that there's still a touch tone in that. It's 2 or 3 months, and it's usually Monday through Thursday. Usually you're home on weekends, so it's not like, I mean, it's not like if you're a federal congressman. I mean, you're gone 3 days a week, and you're not home. And that's a tough gig, but I know they make that work. But my point is just like there's some things there that I try to keep the ball rolling with them, and then. We definitely realized this year, we didn't do this last year, and we're going to try to do this as long as I'm doing this.
Yeah.
We went on a beach vacation 2 weeks after, and it was just hanging out. Yeah. We've never been beach people. We've always been, Disney World, National Park, whatever, active. And we realized the value of just hanging out together.
Yes.
And it was blessing,
There's a time and a place for those kind of trips, but there's absolutely a time and a place for that rest, where that's not a stress and you can just really reconnect, and I think that's something that we sometimes get too busy with a lot of, not only with our daily life, but even in our vacation, we can be very active to the point where we don't really experience that rest. And that's why, I mean, obviously with us, we love the retreats, and y'all came with us when we did a retreat cruise and experienced that kind of getaway and that kind of refocus, not just to to enjoy each other, but also to kind of dive deeper into that presence and that rest with God.
Amen.
So it's a huge part that we need to. I think that's the thing is that you can have a hunting camp, right, and you can bring your kids with you, and you can make it a family affair. And I think that's the trick is that whatever you're doing, that like you're saying, like whether you're running to Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever you're going, like to make sure you're including your kids with you. I remember because we didn't have I grew up in Ponchatoula. We didn't have the garbage services come to our house, so we would have to take our garbage to the dump. And I remember getting in the truck with my dad, and my dad would say, you know where the Lone Ranger brings his garbage? And I said, where, Dad? He says, to the dump, to the dump, to the dump. So, and I just remember being with my dad and just hanging out and just going, dropping the trash off at the dump. Like it's just those little memories mean so much, and we think that we need to, well, I'm going to get the big trip in. I'm going to do like, no, don't wait for the big trip. Do the little trips.
Yeah.
And it'll make that big trip so much more special.
That's beautiful, man. That's the truth. The dump. That's good. I'm gonna remember
So
that.
we got to remember just like not to, and that's the other thing. So we got to be intentional. I think that's the thing we try to talk about on our retreats with couples is making sure that you're staying connected. You don't have to go to the fancy restaurant every time you go on a date night. It could be a glass of wine. It could be a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, back porch, living room, wherever you want to be, and just connect with each other and talk with one another. And don't think that you have to like, well, I'll do that once I get all these other things done, because your to-do list is always going to have something to do on it. So it's a matter of knowing when to be able to say that to that to-do list, not right now, I'm done with this, and I'm going to go over here and spend some time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we've made efforts the last few years try to focus more on hanging out on Sundays.
Yes.
So it's sort of that to-do list, as you mentioned, because Sunday's always the easy day to kind of pick it up, and there's nothing going on. Saturday you usually got sports or whatever the case may be, and I think we're getting better at it, where we're just kind of hanging out and doing, hanging out around the house.
I look forward to Sundays now, right? Like that's something that was challenged with me when Elise and I were first dating and we got married and we went to the JP2 Institute. Like she was afraid that I would be consumed with study and with work, and so someone brought to my attention the whole keep the Sabbath holy and that entering into the Lord's rest. I think it was Jimmy Sagers that might have talked to me about that, and so I was, as much as I felt like I needed to go there and just immerse myself in the studies, I wanted to trust in that request and that call of resting, and I wanted to give that over as a gift to Elise, and it was such a blessing, and that's what we try to continue to do. That where on Sundays there's no work, we're not going to busy ourselves with all these things. We're going to spend time with each other as a family, and so there's this kind of permission to kind of let go. Like I don't have to get to the lawn. I don't have to take care of that right now. I'll fix that tomorrow. Today is Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
And then that gives you that refreshing move too, that when Monday starts, you're like, okay, let's get going. We've got a busy week this week, but know that you're going to be able to take that rest when it's the right time.
Definitely. Oh no, definitely. I mean, you can see it in your energy level and like sort of the interactions and such. I was able to get, I've kind of had an off and on relationship with regular adoration, and I was able to score a slot at St. Peter on Sundays at 11 to noon, and it's been I don't know what it is. I need to know that I have to be there to regularly go. Like I tried for a while to do it with that. Like I just show up once a week, right?
No.
It just
you gotta
doesn't.
Make that commitment.
And I needed to know that person was like, I may not be there. So if I'm not there, no one's there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I've fallen into that habit now. It's been about 6 months, and it just has made Sunday a whole different ballgame. So.
Speaking about the commitment, and then what that does for us as men, I think, what has it been like being a husband? How has that helped you to be a man? You know what I'm saying? Like talking about making that commitment to like stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, no, good question. My wife has told me some things about me that I don't know that I see, but that I very much value it. I very much sort of flattered by it, honored, whatever you want to call it. But she talks about my interaction with our daughters and the importance of that for how they live their life. And so, one of the things my wife will say is like, you can see the girls around town who, or in our community, who don't have a good relationship with their father, they're get a little more boy crazy than normal, get involved with things that they shouldn't, that probably isn't smart or whatever.
Right.
And she's always kind of said, I think our daughters are more grounded because of your interaction with them, your relationship with them. And so that's one way that I kind of see it, and didn't really know it. Like it just kind of happened, and trust her judgment. If she sees it that way, that's probably right. So that's one area, and I do think the idea of, and it's taken me a while to get this too, is sort of being a leader, sort of a spiritual leader.
That's right.
With the kids, and even my wife to a certain extent, although she leads me on a regular basis. So, that's a sort of a rotational thing at times, but there is a, you can have an impact in that way. You mentioned Jimmy Sagers. I listened to a tape he had about being a father years ago, and definitely some of the decisions I've made on how to approach things have come from that.
Same here.
Major influence,
Same here.
and he sees a lot of things very clearly, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. So then, and that kind of ties into my next question about how is being a father, what is that like, how does that like strengthen you as a man? How does that like put focus and meaning in your life?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, you see it as like almost your first priority being here. I know we need to put our marriage first.
Yes.
Before that relationship with children.
Exactly.
But it's kind of conjoined in a sense.
Like, you can't. I mean, there's separate. There's distinct, but there's this unity, right?
Yeah, and like that is my purpose here. That these 5 beautiful beings are have come about from our marriage, and they are dependent on us.
Yes.
To sort of lead them in the right way. That's how I've kind of seen myself. I mean, it's the best way to put it.
They look to you, and they look to the two of you. Like you said, I heard it said one of the best gifts that you can give your children is to love their mother.
Yeah.
So like they when they look at you, they want to see you and Kim love each other because they're a fruit of that love. So that their identity is wrapped up in a sense in your love together, because they're literally a fruit of that love. Because of the love between the two of y'all together, that by the grace of God brought forth the fruit of that love came a child. And so when they see you loving each other, when they see this relationship that's grounded, that's stable, that's loving, and in the times when we make mistakes, there's mercy and compassion. When they see that, they're seeing there's an identity in that. Not to mention, they're seeing, that's what we believe in our faith, is that this is the image of Christ's love for the church. And so then they see the love of the Father, and they see Mother Church, and that helps them in their relationship with God the Father.
Yeah.
I remember giving a talk one time, and I was talking about the love of the Father, and it was at an all-girls school. I forgot where I was, but this the teacher, one of the teachers or the principal, came up, and she was talking about how so many of the girls have a hard time with God the Father because they don't even have a Father on earth that loves them. So how can you talk about a Father in heaven that loves them when they don't even have anything to work with here on earth?
Yeah, you either don't have it or it's a negative experience.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you're absolutely right on that. And that's a role. That's a role I think you slowly mature into realizing what you're doing here. I mean, some people come at it a lot quicker than me, but.